repair company with service centers.
Oh, that's loud.
And across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion. Phone number to join us on the program this morning, 888-250-2091. I'm going to give you that number one more time. All the old numbers still work just fine, but the brand new, shiny, toll-free number for Compute This, 888-250-2091. All right, so we have a lot to do today. So we have the launch of the 2019 holiday special. You probably heard a little bit about it. You may have seen an email hit your inbox overnight, but that is coming your way here on the program today. We're going to tell you all about the holiday special laptop and desktop and tell you what exactly it includes. Like, what is the holiday special? Why is it such a big deal every year? We have customers that literally wait all year long just to get their hands on one of these. They'll limp along with a broken computer for months waiting. I'm just waiting for the holiday special. Well, they are here in limited quantities and ready to rock and roll. So we're going to tell you about that. Also, we have a special coming up tomorrow on Veterans Day. Now, I know this program is heard at different times and different dates. So I want to be really clear. We have a special on Veterans Day, 11/11. So, right? So that's tomorrow in real meat sack time. But it'll actually be, you know, the previous weeks for some other people. So this is something we've never done before. It was pretty cool. We had an idea in the service center, some way we could say thank you to all the veterans, especially, you know, when we have a service center in a military community right near Bellevue there. It was a big deal. That's something it was past due for us to do. So we're going to do something cool there. We'll tell you about that. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card in your computer, which you may or may not know if you do, there are critical patches that are out. I myself got an NVIDIA update for this computer that I'm streaming on Facebook right now with a couple days ago, and I installed it. So you want to make sure if you do get an alert, and this is going to be a weird alert. It's not an alert that's going to necessarily be handled by Microsoft Update, and it's not going to be handled by Secure Updater. So this is a hardware graphics card alert. We're going to tell you what to do with that coming up on the program. If you use QuickBooks, there may be some artificial intelligence in your future. We're going to tell you what Intuit is doing with their QuickBooks product there. And also, this is a big, big deal, guys. There's a brand new browser setting, a brand new setting that is in Firefox. It's in Chrome. To some extent, it's in IE, or not IE, I should say Edge. Don't use IE, use Edge. But this new browser setting actually is something that you need to implement immediately. It is amazing. You know, I remember everybody getting really ticked off on the program when I told you how your internet service provider watches everything you do, and they build a profile about you and sell your data to advertisers. That's how you get weird junk mail in the mail that you don't know where it came from. And everybody was like, oh, how dare they? And then we dropped the little truth bomb on you that your utility companies have been doing this for decades. You can tell a lot about a family by how much power, water, and heat that they use, and you know what kind of lifestyle they live. So basically, this is nothing new. But now, unlike with your utility company or anybody else, you have a way to protect yourself now. So this is like a don't implement it now. Homer Simpson would implement this thing. So we got to make sure we get that information out to you today. All right, so phone number to join us, 888-250-2091. And in classic fashion, I'm looking at my input devices here, and I am currently streaming on Facebook, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. I am streaming with the system webcam on the microphone on my laptop lid. So you can all hear me okay on Facebook right now, but you're not going to hear the callers. So just a heads up. So when you hear me reiterating what the callers say, that's why. If I change the microphone input once the show has started, blows up. Can't have that. All right. So it was still left on Schrock desk mode from the last week's previous show, and I didn't get that changed in time. That's a boo on me. All right. So 888-250-2091. All right. So the 2019 holiday special. If you've been waiting for this, you know, for those of you who have been with us for years and years, you know what the holiday special is. You know why we do it, how we do it. We have a lot of new listeners, not only in the Des Moines market, that this may be their first holiday special they've ever heard of, but there's new listeners every week on the program, especially on Facebook. We have a lot of new fans that joined us this week on Facebook from the Veterans Day promotion. So basically, the holiday special is the one time of year. We have different sales, different computer sales for different types of customers. The big thing about Schrock's computers, and we talked about this on the modular show we did a couple weeks ago, our computers tend to last a lot longer than the big box store computers, the HPs, the different, the bulk store Dell models, things like that. Ours tend to last a lot longer. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But the main reason is that we tend to build our computers over spec. We give them too much power, too much fan, too much processor, too much memory, more than you need to do what you're doing right now. And we know that. And you may not know that, but we know that because every computer you buy off the shelf right now is designed to last you 18 months. And a lot of people don't believe me when I say that. They just genuinely think that's preposterous. Why would somebody, that's like somebody selling you a car that's only designed to last 3 years. I mean, that's just stupid. Why would anybody do that? Well, the difference is with your computer, there are so many things that can go wrong, and there are so many tiny corners to cut. And it's not like a car where, literally you buy an F-150 pickup truck and, Ford makes $20,000 off that transaction. It does not cost $35,000 to make a pickup truck. So, I mean, they have some pretty healthy margins there. Computer manufacturers really don't. There's not a lot of margin there. They might make a few $100s on a, $700 computer. So basically, the long and the short of it here, guys, is the holiday special is the time of year where we go full out bananas crazy, and we build a computer that is ridiculous, that is so ridiculously overspec that it's more than even I would need. It's more than any of my staff would need. It's better. In fact, I had one guy at my service center say the holiday special is literally better than the computer he has at home, and that's just ridiculous. And he was upset about that. He was like, I have to upgrade now because we're selling something on the shelf that's better than what I have at home, and I'm the computer guy. How is this happening to me? What happened to my life? So the 2019 holiday special, we sell them at cost, which is kind of crazy. And the reason we do that, number one, is if we charged full retail freight for the computer you're getting, if you go and take these specs of these computers, which are all available on our website, by the way, at schrockinnovations.com, you can take a look at the specs and everything there. But if you would look at these computers at Dell, at HP, at any of the major computer making companies, and you configure it on their website, you can go to their website, you can build a computer. You build a computer with all the specifications that we're offering in the holiday special, and you'd be building a $3,000 desktop. People like really fast, nice computers, but as we talked about in that computer show, there's always a trade-off between buying the computer you need today and buying the computer that you're going to want to have 3 years from now. Now, the major manufacturers don't really care because you're going to keep this for 18 months and throw it away. So buy the computer you need today. Here it is. It's $800, $700, $600, Black Friday special. Here's your computer. Go use it for 18 months, throw it away, and then buy another HP or Dell. That's the way the game works, right? At Schrock, that's not the way the game works. The 2019 holiday special is expected to last you a decade. We have customers who are still using previous holiday specials for a decade. So we've been around 20 years, guys. We can say this with authority now. Before it was like the computer is projected to last you a decade. No, now we know the computer will last you a decade. The components that go into the computer are so incredibly high-end that a computer that you buy in 2019, just let this sink into your gourd for a second. You buy the computer in 2019, and you're still happy with it in 2029. Wow. 2029, where's my flying car, man? So, I mean, this is amazing. So this year's holiday special it's the 20th anniversary holiday special. So we went a little bit extra over the top this year. We worked some really crazy deals. We have a direct deal with Dell right now. They built a computer just for this special, just for us, which was pretty impressive. The holiday special desktop is something that our engineers over at Schrock, we worked on this thing for a while because we wanted to put everything in it. We wanted it to have this, beautiful curved monitor. We wanted it to have the top Ryzen processor, the big dog. We wanted it to have a graphics card. We wanted it to have ridiculous amounts of memory, lots of storage space, the fastest solid-state hard drives we have ever sold at Schrock. And for the first time in I don't know how long, we didn't have the only thing we compromised on. There was one compromise that was made to keep the price at $14.99 at our cost. I wanted to put a 27-inch curved monitor with it this year. I wanted the great big eye candy. My staff argued that they're the ones that go and install these things, and they say lots of people don't have that much space on their desk, Thor. You might be overestimating how much customers just don't want one that big, number one. Number two, the cost. We can't build it. We'd have to cut something else from the computer. So if we go with a 24-inch curved monitor, we can actually give everybody everything that's important and give them a really nice display. If we go with a 27-inch, we have to cut something. What do you want to cut? We could cut the speed of the hard drive a little bit. We could cut the memory down a little bit. We could go down to a Ryzen 5 processor instead of a 7. What do you want to cut? And I'm like, I don't want to cut any of it. And they're like, okay then. So the one compromise we made is the computer comes with a 24-inch curved display. If you're not into the curved displays are beautiful. By the way, you can come look at the display models in the service centers. They're available in the stores. You can go to any of the 3 locations, 7501 South 15th Street, that's in Lincoln. That's 2 blocks south of 14th and Pine Lake. You can look at the display model in Omaha at 168th and Burke, and you can check out the display model in Papillion, 84th and Highway 370. Or if you'd like, you can go to our website at schrockinnovations.com where all the pictures are there. The lovely Kimberly did all the product photography. There are catalogs you can come pick up in the service center if you want to come eyeball one and think about it a little bit. You can take a catalog home with you so you have something to look through. Talks about all the features and why we do what we do. But this year's holiday special, let me just smack you with some specifications. I'm not going to go into the weeds because I know you don't want that. But let me just, okay, the most high-end computer that we carry throughout the year in our service center is the Venture, okay? We can build anything you want, but we have certain base models we start from. The 2019 Venture computer comes with a Ryzen 3 processor. The Ryzen 7 processor, and this computer, by the way, is $1,100 with no monitor. For the Venture. It's an expensive computer. The holiday special comes with a Ryzen 7. Now, 3 to 7, great. That's like what? 3 plus 4 is 7. That's great, Thor. You know, the Ryzen 7 is 3 times faster than the Venture computer that we have at Schrock. It's ridiculously faster. The amount of memory, the Venture computer at Schrock in the desktop there comes with 8 gigs of memory. The holiday special this year, guys, comes with 32 gigs of memory. Yeah, this one's easy. 32 is way better than 8. Okay, number 3, the Venture comes with a 500 gig solid-state hard drive. The holiday special comes with a 1 terabyte solid-state hard drive. And if that was the end of the story, that would still be impressive. But the holiday special desktop hard drive is a different classification of hard drive than what we use in the Venture. It is the newest, latest, highest 3D NAND, M.2, all these letters and numbers that don't mean anything to you. It is the fastest of the fastest of the fastest hard drive you can get. It is faster than the regular solid states we sell at Schrock. It's that good. The oh my gosh, the wireless card is 802.11ac, so it's going to keep up with the fastest wireless routers out there. So if you have a really nice router at home, this computer is going to fly. It has a card reader in the front. If you're a photographer or a videographer, you want to take the memory cards out of your camera and stick them right into the computer, you can do that. We even threw in a handy dandy cup holder that you will probably never use, but we call it a DVD drive. And it comes with the DVD burner, which everybody wants, but no one ever uses anymore. Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to install my old software until you find out it's not compatible anymore, and then you can't. Nobody uses them, but everybody wants them, so we went ahead and included it on the special. I didn't even cut that because I wouldn't have been able to save enough to give you a bigger monitor. All right, so the monitor itself, guys, is a 24-inch display. It's curved, but it also has a higher hertz rating, which again is something that no one really ever knows to look for in a monitor. But this is a gaming monitor, guys. This is the kind of monitor that people who play high-end video games want to have because the screen refreshes really quickly. What that means to you is that everything is going to be extraordinarily crisp and clear and current on the computer. The monitor will keep up with what the computer is doing very easily. Keyboard and mouse, because this is a complete package, is a wireless Logitech keyboard and mouse. So literally, when you take this thing home, the monitor has the speakers in it, the keyboard and mouse are there, the tower is there. It is ready to shake and bake. The only wires that you have hooking anything to anything is the video cable that carries the audio and the video, and the power cord. That's it. There's 2 cords. Everything else is wireless. So it's pretty impressive, guys. You can check it out over at Schrock Innovations. 888-250-2091. As I mentioned earlier, the holiday special desktop is $14.99. This is the desktop computer. The next segment, we're going to talk about the laptop computer. But this computer is a desktop computer, $14.99. We have 150 total holiday specials available. Okay. The way this works, it doesn't matter if we're selling them at cost, right? So we can only do so many. So we're going to do 150 total, and we're going to split it up however many desktops, however many laptops. You buy whatever you want to buy, and the numbers will go down accordingly. Right now, we have them split evenly on the website at 75 and 75 available. We will ship the holiday special. So if you are outside of our normal service area, we will build and ship a holiday special to you, and you can purchase them on our website at schrockinnovations.com. You get the same experience on the website that you would get with a technician in the service center. You can configure it, you can add things, you can take things off. It's a really great experience over at schrockinnovations.com. 888-250-2091. Coming up next on the program, of course, we're going to talk about the holiday special laptop. But before we go there, I have a special message to go out today for any veterans that are listening. Active duty military, retired military that has a military ID. All labor services on Monday are free at Schrock Innovations. Every labor service. The only asterisk here, guys, data recovery, because it is and it isn't a labor service. It's kind of a blend of both hardware and parts and labor and all kinds of stuff. So it's impossible for us to do those for free. And also web design. Those are the only labor services that are not going to be covered by the special, because, you know, someone comes in and says, okay, I want a website. That'll be, you know, $4,000 in free labor, please. You know, we want to give back. We have to give back in a way that doesn't bankrupt us, you know. But the way we're doing that is I want to give away thousands of dollars in free computer repair labor. I'd love to have you come in to have your computer get maintenance. It would be absolutely free for a maintenance checkup if you're a veteran with a valid military ID. If you need a computer repair, you can come in. We'll fix your computer for free. Of course, if you need parts, they're a little extra, but the labor is all free. If you come in and buy a holiday special on Monday, you're going to probably want us to transfer the data from your old computer to your new computer. Guess what? That's a labor service. That means it's free. So that's $150 savings if you were coming in to buy a holiday special if you come in and buy it on Monday and you're a veteran with a valid military ID. So this applies to your computers, your family's computers. As long as whoever comes in with the computer has a valid military ID, you get all of our labor services for free. All you have to do is drop the computer off on Monday. Doesn't mean we have to finish it by Monday. As long as you drop it off Monday and you have that ID, your services will be free. Thank you very much for your service. Let us take a moment to serve you. It's 20 years in. It's about time that we gave something back to our veterans, and I'm really proud that we're able to do this at Schrock Innovations this year. 888-250-2091. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, holiday special laptop coming up, and also the one new browser setting that you have to turn on right now if you value privacy on your computer, things that can keep you safe without having to pay for that VPN. We're going to tell you how to do it coming up on Compute This. Well, one of the nice things, guys, about having this microphone on is you get to hear everything during the commercial break. You won't hear any callers, so it's a trade-off, okay? So it's kind of like the after Schrock inside the Schrock. So if any of you have questions right now, you can type them up on Facebook and I can respond to them here. All right, I'm going to go through the comments. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Blake. Good to have you. Ronnie's asking, have I heard anything about when the Windows update is coming? Yeah, you bought Safe Upgrade last month. Yes, we are anxiously awaiting the release of the update. I can't imagine they're going to do it over the Thanksgiving holiday, and they didn't do it in the first week, and they have Patch Tuesday coming up on, let me get this right. Okay, Patch Tuesday is coming up on the 12th, which is 2 days from now, so I can't imagine they're going to launch Patch Tuesday on the same day as they launch a big Windows update. That doesn't seem very sensible, unless maybe they can't just do that on Patch Tuesday and call it Patch Tuesday. Which means basically it's going to come out, my educated guess is it's going to come out sometime this week, or it's going to come out in the next 10 days. That's my educated guess. Lord help us, I hope it comes out before the 28th because I leave for vacation on Thanksgiving for a week. So that would be really awkward if they released it on Thanksgiving. I don't think they're going to do that. All righty. Sunny, cold day in Kansas. Yeah, likewise here, although they went from like you're going to have snow on the ground when you wake up Sunday morning to like, oh, it's going to be 40 degrees and the snow's coming later. At some point, we have to tell them, I don't believe you anymore. I'm not sure if we're there yet. All right. John asked, does the holiday special video card support 2 monitors? Excellent question. It, in fact, does. It'll support multiple monitors. It has HDMI, DVI, VGA, I think it also has DisplayPort. I have to double check on that one, but it will. So basically, you'd want to go with the configuration: one monitor in HDMI and one monitor in DVI. Avoid the VGA because one monitor will be really low res and the other two will be really nice. And take a look at the wallpapers. Lovely Kimberly did an amazing job making some beautiful wallpapers for the computers too. All right, we got to get back at all the other people listening, guys. Here we go. All right, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I am the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. 888-250-2091 is the number to give us a call on the program. And of course, if you ask a question or make a comment, we'll put you in the drawing for a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate that we will give away at the end of the program, and Addie will get to you on Monday. All right, so we spent the first segment talking a lot about the holiday special desktop computer. Super excited about that computer. It's literally the most powerful computer we have ever built at Schrock Innovations. Ever. But now it's turned the laptop's turn, right? The 2019 holiday special laptop is truly special. It's special because you can't buy it anywhere else. You can't even buy it from Dell, even though it's a Dell laptop. And the reason for that is basically this computer was constructed. We contacted our Dell reps, and they were not able to get us a computer we needed, basically. So we contacted our Asus reps, and we were working with them. We had a plan going forward. And then, we went back to Dell with what Asus gave us and said, listen, we're going to go with Asus this year. And we've gone with Dell the last 3 years. It's up to you if you want this business or not. I know your Dell and, 75 laptops probably doesn't mean anything to you guys. I get it. But you don't understand the way this is positioned in our market. This is the best laptop that you can buy anywhere. This is the laptop people wait all year to get. Do you want that laptop to be a Dell or an Asus? And Dell was like, okay, well, let's see what we can do. And they came up with something. I gave them an impossible build list, and they pulled it off. They hit it. So the cost of the laptop is exactly the same, $14.99. But the holiday special laptop, first off, okay, it's a 2-in-1, right? So it's not technically a laptop. It's a laptop. It's also a tablet. It's also a display presentation computer. It does pretty much everything because it's a 2-in-1. That means you can take the screen, like when you open a laptop normally, you open it up and you have like an L-shaped structure that you can type on the keyboard and look at the screen. This one, you can push the screen back so it's flat. It lays completely flat, so the keyboard and mouse are equal. And then imagine that you continued to push the monitor around and folded it all the way over backwards. If you don't have a 2-in-1 right now, do not try to do that because you will snap your screen off. 2-in-1s, though, are double hinged. So they can fold all the way back and you can hold it like a clipboard, touch on it like a tablet. It automatically switches to tablet mode. It automatically rotates the screen around. It is impressive stuff. Not only that, but the screen. I mentioned the wallpapers the lovely Kimberly made. Wallpapers. She had to make 2. One for the holiday special monitor at 75 hertz and one for the 4K monitor that Dell put in the holiday special laptop. If you have never actually seen a 4K display up close, you need to take a look at the holiday special laptop. Now, all content currently is not 4K on the internet, but once 5G hits, it's all going to go to 4K. There's a lot of letters there, guys. The bottom line is, right now, there's about 50% of the stuff you're going to look at is available in that higher 4K quality, and that's going to continue to increase very much like, remember when DVDs came out and everyone said, ooh, it's high definition, and we all laughed like, high definition isn't that much better. I challenge you to go back and look at an old Star Trek now. Like, go watch a Star Trek The Next Generation that, was around in the 90s, and look at, wow, it's like square because it doesn't fill the screen, and everyone's face is a little grainier, and we all thought that was great TV at the time. Now you look at what we have today and you realize how much further we've come. You'll have the same experience when you look at a holiday special laptop. You're going to look at that 4K screen and you're going to wonder how you ever tolerated a screen that was not 4K. It will completely spoil you. So the monitor is one of the huge selling points of this laptop. It has all of the eye candy that you would normally expect from a high-end laptop, from a $3,000 laptop. It's got the backlit keyboard. It's got no DVD drive because nobody really needs them anymore. Most laptops don't come with them. There's no room in the all-in-one. But it has an i7 processor, one of the fastest processors you can put in a 2-in-1. Memory. This year's computer comes with 16 gigs of RAM. For a laptop, that's phenomenal. But if that's not quite good enough for you, the laptop can be upgraded to 32, just like the desktop. So yeah, this is the first laptop we've ever sold at Schrock Innovations that can be upgraded to 32 gigabytes of memory. That's pretty impressive in itself. Battery life is about 8 hours. Depends, of course, on what you're doing with it. If you're just typing on it, it lasts a lot longer. If you're, watching high-end videos with the brightness turned all the way up, it's going to use a little bit. It needs its own graphics card to push all that 4K beauty onto the screen. So you got that. It has all the external ports you need, USB ports, USB 3 ports, USB-C ports. It's got everything all together in one beautifully tiny little package. It is a lightweight, awesome laptop that you have to see to believe. It is amazing. You can see it at Schrock, any of the 3 locations. We have them in stock. Also on the website at SchrockInnovations.com. And as I mentioned with our Veterans Day special on the 11th, tomorrow, you can come in and purchase one of these. And if you have a valid military ID and you want a data transfer done from your old computer to your new computer, that is technically a labor service, and we will do that for free under the special for Veterans Day. Also, if you are a veteran or you know of any veterans in your family, any friends, anything like that, anyone who has a valid military ID that needs anything done to their computer, whether that's just basic preventative maintenance, you guys know that you're supposed to have that every 6 months. We talk about it all the time. Sometimes with military families, my wife grew up in a military family. And, there are times of feast and times of famine, and it seems like the times of famine go a lot longer than the times of feast. Sometimes you got to make ends meet, and this is one thing that we can do to help military families that have kids in school, that have home computers that maybe, haven't been maintained properly over time, and they've slowed down, they're not working well, and the family's trying to figure out how they're going to buy a new computer or what they're going to do or how they're going to prioritize funds. Guess what? We can breathe new life into that equipment with just a preventative maintenance checkup at Schrock. We can give you all the options for upgrades. If you decide you want to upgrade to that solid state hard drive, guess what? There's no labor because it's a Veterans Day special. Just the cost of the parts, and then we'll put them in for you. Memory upgrade, cost of the parts, we'll put it in for you. If you're infected with a virus, guess what? Virus removal is a labor service. We'll remove the virus for you. So if you are a veteran or you know a veteran, please pass the word and let us know. We have an event on our Facebook page, facebook.com/SchrockInnovations, where you can actually share that on your Facebook page, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys could do that for us. All right, 888-250-2091. We got to take our bottom of the hour break. We've got a couple calls rolling in. When we come back from the break, graphics patches for NVIDIA. The graphics card that comes in the holiday special laptop is an NVIDIA graphics card. So we will be patching those before they go out the door. So just a heads up there. If you have any of our previous holiday special laptops, they almost all have NVIDIA chipsets. Anything with an i7 will have an NVIDIA chipset if it's high-end. There's a patch that you need to install for that. Also, QuickBooks is implementing some AI. We're going to tell you about that if you're a business user. And the new browser setting that you have, it's just a dough. You have to do it. If you value your privacy, we're going to tell you how to do it coming up next on Compute This. Woo! What's that?
I deleted your last break.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you can talk. It's all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the mic's on, but whatever. Okay. So we're going to have some calls coming up here on the next segment, guys. We finally got some people that called in. So again, I apologize on Facebook that you will not be able to hear the callers. I will try to reiterate the question so you know what I'm talking about when I talk. But we're going to go to Caleb's call coming up next. I'm going to get my clock up over here. Let's see. There it is. I was looking at the clock like I'm trying to hit the bottom of the hour. I got pretty close for not seeing the clock. I was maybe 15 seconds long, maybe.
Yeah, you're great.
Maybe. All right. Let's see if we got some more questions here. In the TV world, what's the big deal with what we currently have with the 3D and 4D TVs? All right, Richard, what's the big deal with what we currently have? All right, well, basically the big deal with TV tech, my wife and I walked through Nebraska Furniture Mart a couple weeks ago, looked at all the TVs, and there are some phenomenal TVs. The next big thing is going to be 8K. The 3D phase kind of came and went. It was almost a fad. But basically the next TV iteration is going to be 8K. And they literally had a close-up of like a flower stamen with like an insect in there, like, drinking the pollen from the flower. And you could actually see the insect drinking and it sounds great. You're making a face, Emily, but it sounds gross. But I mean, you could see the pollen being removed from a flower on this screen. That's how clear it is. So, I mean, like I said, when you go from what you've seen to what we have now, what we have now is fine, and then you get used to what's coming, and then you go back and watch something from before. Like it's like watching those NFL films from the 1970s. You're like, what did they record these on? Like McDonald's napkins? Like what? The video is awful. What is this? You know, did they use cheap film? And the answer is yes, they did. Sporting events use cheaper film than regular events, than movie film. All right. 3D is what you want to see that video in the video and that display using special glasses. Yeah, that's the downers, the 3D stuff. You have to have the special glasses right now. And eventually, when we get into augmented reality, when people start accepting that more, we're going to get into holograms. The hologram technology does exist right now. It is it's minimized form, so it's something you can put on your desk and program one hologram in and have a hologram of your baby's face or something in it. But it's going to get to the point where it's very, you know, Luke Skywalker, you know, where we're watching R2-D2 projecting something in a hologram form. And once that gets real enough, then it's going to be like you're really in the movie. And that's going to be kind of the next iteration, probably 30 years out, where it's going to change the whole world again. Good morning, Karen. How are you doing? All righty. James asks, the holiday specials sound great. Always enjoy listening to Compute This. Well, thank you, James. I appreciate that. The holiday specials this year, the big thing, guys, is like after 20 years, it was starting to get a little pedestrian for us building holiday specials. We're like, oh, they're good, they're great, whatever. This year, we wanted to re-energize that excitement in the holiday special, and we went so far above and beyond. This computer, if you're looking at a holiday special, guys, this thing is redefining what the holiday special is. So make sure you take a look at it if you're looking for a computer. By the time you get done configuring one of the other ones, you'll wish you got the holiday special. All right, guys, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company. Service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, and Papillion, where you can take a look at the holiday special laptop and holiday special desktop on display and available for purchase. Those of you who ordered already, your holiday specials are rolling off the assembly lines in the coming days. We have one that's going to be delivered today. More of them are coming out next week. And then we're going to actually hear from the people who have their holiday specials coming up in the following weeks to let you know, hey, these things are the real deal. It's one thing to hear Thor say it. It's a whole other thing altogether to have a customer who has one call in and tell us about it. All right, so phone number to join us on the program today, 888-250-2091. And we're going to jump into the phones. Caleb, welcome to the program. How can I help you today on Compute This? Yeah, the holiday special. Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. All right. So basically, you know, you're streaming on Twitch, and for those of you who don't know what Twitch is what all of the cool cats use when they're playing video games or doing things online, and people will actually watch Twitch streams and make donations. There are people making six-figure incomes on Twitch, and you know this, Caleb. There are people making big money on Twitch. There you go. So yeah, so the holiday special computer, the desktop is the one you want to look at, not the laptop for what you're doing. Yeah, the thing is, you were asking, is it just a computer for ordinary everyday computer users, or is it something truly special? And the answer is, it is something truly special. It is radically different than the regular computers. You know, we have a $600 computer at Schrock, and we have a $700 computer at Schrock, and you know, we have the $1,100 computer at Schrock. This thing, we'll have customers that come in and they'll pick up the holiday special catalog at $14.99 and say, you know, that's a great special and great deal, but I don't need all of that. I'm going to go look at this, you know, $799 Endeavor over here. So they're $800, and then by the time they're done configuring it, and they realize they're around like $1,100, $1,200, we're like, for $300 more, you can get a computer that is 5-10 times what this computer is. So for you, because you're a little more advanced, I'm going to drop some more of the detailed specifications on you here. So yes. Yeah, about time. Oh yeah. Right. Right. Yeah, oh yeah, there's a lot of people. Okay, so when you're looking at one of our computers, and you may be new to the program, but we sell modular computers. So let's say, for example, we put the Ryzen 7 chip in there, and next year AMD comes out with a brand new, right, which they will, brand new gen Ryzen 7. AMD tends to keep the same socket across all of their processors for a long period of time. What that means is, like if you get an Intel, like an i7, every time Intel comes out with a new processor, they change the socket, which means you can't stay with one motherboard and move up your processors. You have to buy a whole new motherboard, which means you have to buy new memory, which means you have to buy a new processor. By that time, you may as well buy a whole new computer. With our modular computers, the reason we go with AMD, and we've been with AMD long before they changed the world with the Ryzen chips, but we've been the reason we do that is they stay with their socket. So the AM4 socket is what we've been using now for what, 2 years. And so, and the 2020 specs, which we're going to talk about here coming on the program for our regular computers, they're going to continue to use the AM4 socket on the board, which means you can still use the high-speed DDR4 memory. You can use the high-speed Ryzen processors. When AMD comes out with a new chip, you'll be able to swap it. Because our computers are modular, the graphics card that comes in the computer is an RX 550. For what you're doing, you might want to upgrade that a little bit. There you go. And so we can absolutely do that. So basically then what we would do is we'd find out the spec of your card just to make sure that the power supply can handle it. But I mean, we put a 500 watt power supply in the computer by default, even though it only needs a 200 watt power supply to run. You never can. So, but if your graphics card's doing crazy things, or maybe you're thinking about in the next year you might go up to the top of the line NVIDIA, the 20 series card or something like that, we might. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but we might want to invest in upgrading that power supply for you a little bit. So everything we do at Schrock is custom. So you're getting a full custom computer, even though we start with a baseline package. So thank you very much for the call, Caleb. I really appreciate you taking the time to ask those questions. One of the things, we don't get a lot of high-end performance users that call into the program. My guys are always on me to build gaming computers. They want to build gaming rigs because they want to play with the newest high-tech toys and liquid cooling and everything. And I'm like, guys, our customers just don't want that. That's not who we are. Let the other gaming places do that. That's not what we do. But man, Caleb, I don't know. All right, phone number to continue joining us on the program, 888-250-2091, and you can get in that drawing just like Caleb is for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. We're going to have to take our final break here. We'll have one longer segment at the end because we have a lot of ground to cover. But before we go to break, I want to thank you all very much for voting for us in the Best of Omaha competition. I'm very pleased to announce that Schrock Innovations has won the #1 slot for the best computer repair service center in Omaha. On top of that, we found out completely independently that we also won the #1 slot for the best of Sarpy County. So the Sarpy County People's Choice Award, that would be the Papillion Service Center, we won that award as well. Also, just in the last couple of weeks here, we found out we also won the Best of Lincoln competition for our Lincoln Service Center. So all 3 of our service centers have won their respective Best of competitions. And these aren't like the best of, junky ones. These are like the actual best of that are sponsored in the local communities that real people like you go and vote in. And without your votes, we wouldn't be voted best. And it's a reflection on the work we've done in the past. So we're going to continue to strive to do good work for you in the future going forward. But just because there's not enough, hey, it's on sale in this show this week, you know what I mean? Like, hey, if you're a veteran, come on in for free stuff. And hey, if you're looking for a computer, here's a holiday special. Hey, if you're looking for a computer and you're not interested in the holiday special, to say thank you for voting for us in all these competitions and making us the best in all 3 communities where we have presence. We are launching our 2020 model year spec for 1 month only early. So all the catalogs in the service centers, everything you see in the shop still has the 2019 model year, but we already know what we're going to do in 2020. And 2020 is like a month and a half away, right? 2 months away, month and a half. So we're just going to go ahead and give you the 2020 spec now, and we're going to discount the computers between $50 and $150 off all of our regular computers at Schrock Innovations. Don't worry, guys. If you bought a computer that you don't have yet, you're already getting the 2020 spec on that one. So we're going to make sure you're covered there as well. All right, we're going to take a quick break, guys. That'll be the final one of the program. Then we're going to have a nice long segment to come back and knock out the rest of these stories. And Ed, your call as well. 888-250-2091. Ed, your call coming up next on Compute This.
What's an Allen vet?
Habada?
An Allen vet?
Update on the Allen band.
That's
Okay. Yeah, that we get one of these once in a while. We've talked about the Allen band several times, so we'll give them an update on it because we can't say it enough because somebody always calls in about it. All right. Yeah, Blake, that was a tough one. I wish you could have heard that one. So basically, it was one of those calls where it was obviously a younger kid. He's streaming on Twitch, which is like my son's dream in life. So basically what Twitch is you play video games, and you're so good at playing video games that other people want to watch you play video games. So this is like the 21st century version of there's a guy playing pinball, and all the people are huddled around him watching him go get the high score. That's what this is, except it's with all the video games that are out there. And it's all recorded and archived, and you can play through it, and you can walk through it and do all kinds of stuff. But people actually pay to watch people play video games. Go figure that out, right? But you got to be good. And so basically this guy is saying, hey, I'm getting pretty good, and I'm building a following. It's going to be my full-time job soon, where I'm making enough money with people watching me on Twitch. Is the holiday special the right computer for me to use to run my Twitch streams? To run my business, basically. The answer is yeah. Yeah, he obviously was a little new to the program, but I mean, dude, this thing, this is a $3,000 desktop. I mean, it has LEDs in it. Yeah, all the kids like that. The Ryzen 7 fan comes with its own built-in LEDs. You can program them too. It's kind of fun. But anyway. Hey, no problem, Caleb, man. He's on Facebook too. That's awesome. So yeah, it's really cool to hear from somebody like that that's using the computer for an application like that, because a lot of our consumers are in the 40+ demo, and not a lot of them are streaming on Twitch, and so it's one of those things where we know what we're good at, we know what we do, but boy, I got a bunch of ponies pulling at their reins in my service center that want to build some race cars, Caleb. So when it's time, when you want that, you let us know. We're going to be doing it for you. All right, guys, here we go. We got a lot of work to do now. All righty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, where there is a whole lot of something going on this week. We have the holiday special launching today in all 3 service centers and on the website at SchrockInnovations.com. We have all computers that are not holiday specials on sale to celebrate the fact that we won not 1, not 2, but all 3 best of competitions in the same year. Also, if that's not enough for you, we are giving you, for a limited time only, this is going on for 1 month, the 2020 model year specifications when you buy your computer on sale. So you get a discount and you get better parts. So it's pretty awesome. So that, remember the Ryzen 3 that comes in the Venture? Well, that's a Ryzen 5 now for you guys. But don't worry, if you bought one and you're waiting on delivery right now, we are upgrading all computers that are currently in delivery queue to have the 2020 model year spec. That's why we've been a little bit slow on delivery. We wanted to make sure that we waited long enough that we could give. We didn't want to deliver a computer to you and have you call us back and say, I wish I'd have waited a month. I want to make sure that everybody gets their stuff taken care of. All right, so let's jump into those phones. Ed, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This? Good morning. Yep, so we've updated a few times on it, actually, but the status on the Allen band, basically we ran into a show-stopping problem with the project. So if you guys don't recall, the Allen band, my dad fell at home. He almost died. It was a really scary situation, and there is no device on the market that will alert people when you stop responding. So basically, there's all kinds of fitness trackers that track activity. Nobody's tracking the lack of activity, and that's what the Allen band was going to do. The connectivity was important, and so you know, we'd built tablets and Bluetooth and all kinds of things before, so we said, okay, this isn't going to be a problem. We know we can build a device that has all of the things. We're just going to throw in a cellular radio. It's just another radio, right? Yeah, this is another radio, but the government's involved. So basically, if you're going to build a cell phone, you have to get an FCC clearance for your phone, and our watch would have technically been a cell phone. And you know, it's one thing. The FCC has better things to do than to hunt after people making bans for, you know, people. And so I was like, you know, we're small enough that we could probably just make it and, you know, get away with it. The problem was, and, you know, that's a little rebellious, I know, but the problem was that if we did that, we have to have a cell phone carrier to carry the product. Somebody has to, you know, has to provide the cellular connectivity. Without that FCC ID, no one's going to do that. So we said, okay, crowd, if we deliver this device, we can't deliver it with cellular connectivity. So it would be Wi-Fi enabled, and it would be enabled via Bluetooth from your existing cell phone. So you, just like every other smartwatch, you can pair it to your phone. If we go forward, those of you who want one, is that okay? And the resounding answer was, heck no. We want cellular, or we don't want it at all. So that's where it died. No problem, man. Have a great afternoon. And it was kind of an anticlimactic ending there. And that's where it died. The end. 888-250-2091. Steve, welcome to the program. How can I help you on Compute This today? Sure. Great question. All of our modular enclosures can go with solid state or regular. We can build either one for you for an external hard drive. The big thing is, I know you want a backup drive that you said you could remove from the computer. Do you want to remove it from the computer for a specific reason? Gotcha. Like a cold storage. Yeah, cold storage backup. So yeah, you know, honestly, I wouldn't spend the extra money on the solid state backup because you're piping everything through a USB connection. So unless you're doing something where you're moving just ridiculously large numbers of files, like a huge video files, things like that, that's where you're going to get the benefit of a solid state drive on an external hard drive. Inside the computer, if you were talking about a backup you were going to leave inside the computer, solid state all day long is great. But if you're going to remove it from the computer, you're going to save a lot of money by going to a rotating backup drive. Sure. We do sell them. Basically, here's the thing. When you're doing a backup drive, the amount of backup space you need is dependent on how much you're backing up. So with that said, if you go over that 2 terabyte limit, if you go to like a 4 or 8 or 10 terabyte external drive, the bigger you go, the more fragile they get. And so I would recommend, if you can get away with a 1 terabyte drive, that's perfect. If you have to go to a 2 terabyte, that's a little less perfect, but it's still doable. Anything bigger than that, I'd almost rather have you see you have multiple hard drives because they're that much more fragile. All righty, thanks for the call, Steve. I appreciate it. All right, 888-250-2091. So back into the agenda. Graphics card updates. If you have an NVIDIA chipset, basically anyone who has one of our holiday special laptops for the past few years, or anyone who has a gaming laptop or anything that is big and powerful in the graphics department, chances are you have an NVIDIA graphics card. NVIDIA has its own little special program that runs on your computer that alerts you when it's time to install an update for your card. They do not usually automatically install these updates because they are ginormous and there is the possibility that they can cause issues with your computer. However, if you have this NVIDIA card, you are going to see a pop-up in the lower right-hand corner of your screen when you start the computer up. So if you reboot your computer and it pops up and tells you there's a graphics card update for your computer or an NVIDIA GeForce Experience update, that's something you definitely need to install. This is going to install an update that protects you from a vulnerability, so it's a security and a performance update. So make sure you get that for your computer. Also in the hopper today, Intuit. Intuit is the company that makes QuickBooks. So if you run a business or have worked in a small business, you're probably familiar with Intuit's QuickBooks. Not to be confused with Quicken, which is different. But QuickBooks, they want to put artificial intelligence into QuickBooks to help small businesses avoid cash flow issues. This is intriguing, and this is one of the examples of how you're going to see AI creeping into your daily lives in ways that you might not even realize. QuickBooks Cash Flow Planner plans to leverage AI to help ensure that small businesses can manage cash flow and avoid crunches with predictive modeling. Intuit is infusing its QuickBooks platform with artificial intelligence aimed at guiding small businesses through projecting cash flow. Unveiled at Intuit's QuickBooks Connect conference, the company outlined an approach that rhymes with how it has done tax preparation. QuickBooks is aiming to enable small business owners and self-employed workers to use AI to automate back-office work, ease e-commerce, and introduce performance metrics. One of the big challenges in small business, guys, is you can do everything in your business and you can do it all profitably. But like for example, in our industry, in the summertime, we see a big slowdown. That's why we have maintenance specials. We have all kinds of stuff going on in the summertime. And even with that, we still see a slowdown. But our fixed costs always remain, right? You always have to pay the rent. You got to pay your people. You got to pay the taxes. Those costs stay pretty stagnant. So what they're saying at QuickBooks here is we're going to create modeling that will basically, when you're working on your budgets and your forecasts, it will tell you, make sure you set aside X number of dollars this month and keep that in the bank because you're going to need it in July when things are slow. Which seems like a stupid thing that you think a business owner would just know, right? Trust me, there are lots of people running businesses in the United States right now who are really, really good at what they do, but they're really, really bad at running a business. Completely different skill sets. So as a result, that's one of the reasons Schrock Interactive does so much with our web development. We're handling marketing and e-commerce and all kinds of things that are just outside the wheelhouse for somebody that makes rugs, for example. Just completely different. All right, and then the final thing that I want to get on the program today, this is huge. And I wanted to reserve a good 5 or 6 minutes to talk about this because it's that important. DNS over HTTPS. Okay, DNS starts with a D, over starts with an O, and HTTPS starts with an H. Acronym? Don't, right? It's a complete no-brainer if you don't implement this. All right, so here's the thing. Anytime you type anything into your web browser and hit go, anytime you Google anything, every website you've ever gone to, your internet service provider has a complete record of the device you used, the time you went, how long you were there, what pages you looked at. It is literally a history lesson on you as a person, and over a period of time, you could really develop almost a personality profile about people and what they look at, based on what they look at, how long they look at it, and what they're doing. It's kind of scary, actually, that your internet service provider, whether that's Cox or CenturyLink or Quest or whoever it would be, Comcast, they have all this information, and they're required by law to keep it for a specific amount of time. Truth is, they all keep it anyway because they want to sell it. They want to sell the aggregated data of what you do and who you are as a person, so that way they can basically market, other people can market things to you better. Well, as you might imagine, most people do not like this, right? People want their privacy back. Remember years ago when we were instructing people, look at all the free stuff on the internet. Isn't this great? Isn't Gmail great? Isn't Google awesome? All this free stuff. And we said, it is great. It's awesome that it's free. But there's nothing free in life, guys. There's no such thing as a free lunch. So you're paying for this stuff with your privacy. And everyone was like, yeah, whatever. And like the kids were like, oh, whatever, you know. And now people are starting to realize it's a little creepy when your phone pops up on Wednesday morning and knows that you go to Target on Wednesday morning, and your Apple phone pops up just to tell you what the current traffic conditions are as you're walking out the door to go to Target. How did my phone know I was going out the door to go to Target? That's creepy. That's AI. That's what's going to be happening in our lives. So if you want to shield yourself from some of the creepiness, there is a setting now that you can enable in your web browser that sends every internet request, every website you look at, it will send it encrypted over the internet. This is very much like what a VPN does. It's not the same as a VPN, but it's very similar to a VPN. Most normal people do not need VPNs to mask what they're doing on the internet. They just don't. This feature is something you should enable on your browser so that now when you are on the internet, everything that you're doing is protected and shielded, and no one's just looking over your shoulder. So it's called DNS over HTTPS, and I'm going to post a link on Facebook here to the article. It's from ZDNet that explains how to do it, because there's so many browsers. You know, if you're on Chrome, it's one thing. If you're on Firefox, it's another thing. So I want to make sure that everybody has the instructions on how to implement this, with one important caveat. If you are Mozilla Firefox is the company that pushed this out. Internet service providers are literally screaming about this. Comcast is literally lobbying Congress right now to make this illegal, because it's of course a threat to national security if the government, subpoenas an internet service provider and says, give us this guy's browsing history, and we can't do it because we don't have it because it's encrypted, and we're required by law to have it, and we can't. And these changes that are made to the browser, the user can do this and take this information from us, and now we can't sell it. Give it to the government when it's subpoenaed. Obviously, this is a threat to national security, government, so make it illegal for people to protect their own privacy. Watch this, guys. This is going to go somewhere. But so right now, Firefox came out with this. It's been around for a while, but Firefox is the first browser to really make it an option. They partnered with Cloudflare. So all of the security is going through Cloudflare, which is a well-known security company. Few people were in an uproar about that. Why are you giving all this business to Cloudflare? Well, because they can trust Cloudflare and they needed a partner. And so one of the ways you get a partner is you offer exclusivity and branding. And so now it goes through Cloudflare. You don't ever see anything different on your end. You'll never see a Cloudflare pop-up or any garbage like that. Your internet just works like it always works. It's just no one can see what you're doing. Google Chrome is the exception here. 51% of the people on the internet use Google Chrome. Google Chrome also has the ability to turn on DNS over HTTPS, or DOE for short. You can turn DOE on Chrome, but Chrome will not force the internet service provider to use it. Chrome says, hey, internet service provider, this customer likes their privacy and would prefer not to be monitored all the time. Could you maybe not do that? And the ISP says, nah, we're going to monitor them anyway. And Google Chrome says, okay. So Firefox is enforcing it. The ISP is cut off. Google Chrome is politely suggesting it. So if you're a Chrome user, keep that in mind, that even if you follow the instructions that I posted on Facebook and here in the radio show notes, when you go to turn on DNS over HTTPS, it's just a suggestion in Chrome. Don't even mess with it in Edge yet. Edge is coming out with a whole new version. It'll be Chrome, basically. Then you're going to have the same problem with Edge. So right now, Firefox is the browser of privacy lovers. All right, we need to draw a winner of the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. That winner is Ed. Congratulations, Ed. We'll see you folks again next Sunday for another edition of Compute This. All right. I got a couple seconds here, I guess. Now, here's the question. Do I create a separate broadcast for the aftershock at this point, or do I just keep on rolling? I think I'm just going to keep on rolling. Let's just make life easy. All right. So let's go through the rest of the comments from the show here before we get into the aftershock. I was offered an internship at your Pillion site a couple years back. Oh, wow, Caleb. Cool. Thank you for doing that, Caleb, for linking to us. I appreciate that. Is there any way to update my Mac OS desktop? Yeah, actually, if you have a Mac, one of the biggest updates you can do to a Mac is installing a solid-state hard drive in it. Most of the older Macs almost all of them came with rotating disk hard drives. You can take an older Mac, pop a solid-state hard drive in it, and it's literally faster than the day you bought it, which is a way better deal than buying a $5,000 new Mac, basically. So that's pretty good. All right. VPN blocks tracking. Yeah, Robert, if you have a VPN, what it does basically is when you send a request out onto the internet to pull a web page back, it takes that request and it sends it off to some other server that's not your internet service provider, and then it's fragmented. It's sent to like 100 different servers, and they each grab a piece, and then they all send it back to you individually. So, and they mix your traffic up with everybody else's traffic. So it's kind of like a VPN would be like trying to reassemble a document that's been fed through a cross-cut shredder, taken the shreds, packed them in 5 different boxes, sent them to 5 different continents, submerged them in a bucket of acid, and then raised them up and then shipped them back and tried to put it all back together. That's a VPN. What the DOE situation is more of a just keeping the front door locked. I mean, it's literally, it's so basic that we already have a secure socket layer, right? Everyone knows that for e-commerce, you look for the little padlock. That means the site is secure. That means there is a secure communication between your web browser and the server that you're communicating with where you get the website. Well, there's a layer on top of that called the domain name service. This is what takes www.schrockinnovations.com and allows you to type that instead of 192.168, whatever, the IP address for the website. So you type in schrockinnovations.com, and that goes up to your internet service provider like Cox or Time Warner or CenturyLink or whatever, and they say, oh, you want to go to schrockinnovations.com. That's this IP address. Go there, add a record to this guy's account that he's been to schrockinnovations.com. Well, what the DNS over HTTPS does is it takes that same request, but it sends it encrypted to Cloudflare. And Cloudflare then says, okay, you want to go to schrockinnovations.com. We're not going to monitor anything you do, and we're going to send you to schrockinnovations.com. And then you end up at schrockinnovations.com, and your internet service provider has no idea where you've gone or what you've done. Now, they sent the data to your computer, right? So they should know, you'd think. But it was all sent. schrockinnovations.com operates exclusively on a secure socket layer, guys, which means the internet service provider has no idea what you've sent to or from where. They have no record you went to Schrock, and they can't see what you're bringing down to your computer. It's the ultimate privacy, and all you literally have to do in Firefox is go under connection settings and say enable. And I did it on my computer. I am seeing no difference in anything on my computer. Firefox is really making a name for itself in the privacy field, much more so than Google Chrome is kind of like universally, it works with everything. Everybody uses it, so everybody codes for it. Firefox is really for people who value their privacy, but still want to have the ability to go do everything. So it's kind of nice. All right. Use my phone VPN on this new iPhone. Yep. All right. I didn't realize how high-tech the new iPhones were, but it required one. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, Bing, let's say, roll on. I'm a Microsoft partner. Okay, got you there. What does the new solid-state drive cost for your MacBook Pro? All right, so it depends, Blake, on what size of hard drive you need, how much stuff you're storing in your hard drive right now. If you're storing, 50, 60 gigs of data, we could put you into 120 gig solid state and you'd be fine. If you were storing more than that, you need a bigger one. Typically, the solid states are going to run anywhere from $150 up to about $250, just depending on the size you get. They can get more expensive if you want something crazy like a 2 terabyte solid state or something, but that's usually up to a 480 is what usually people will get. Now, a lot of the MacBooks actually came with, so the MacBook Pros, I should say, actually came with solid state hard drives. So before you bring it in, have us put a solid state in it, flip your MacBook over. There's a number on the bottom in that little gray fine print that starts with A. It'll be like A1429 or something. Google that number and it'll tell you what the spec was for your MacBook. And it'll tell you if it has a solid state hard drive. And if it does, then there's no use in replacing the solid state hard drive unless you're having trouble with it. You won't get any faster. Robert, yes, a VPN is encrypted typically, as long as you buy a reliable one. All right. Okay, so officially, welcome into the Aftershock. All right, so stuff on the program today. Oh boy. If you're planning on going in to look at the holiday specials in the Papillion Service Center, we have the laptop there. The desktop is not ready for prime time in there yet. We received a damaged case that had a cracked side panel and a broken foot. And so we are rebuilding in a new case there, so it's going to take them a day or so to get that done. They can certainly show you the catalog and stuff, so the desktop model isn't there. The laptop is. If you want to look at the desktop model, you can check it out at any of the other service centers, though, if you want to lay hands on it. Let's see, what else do we got? So please do spread the word about the Veterans Day event at Schrock. We've never done anything like this before. So it's free. If you weren't listening earlier, we're giving away free labor services to anyone with a valid military ID. So if you're active duty, if you're retired, it doesn't matter. As long as you have that valid military ID, all labor services at Schrock are free, except for data recovery and web design. But that's, computer-related ones are absolutely free. So that's, if you're going to buy a new computer and you're a veteran, you come in on Monday, you can do the Veterans Day special to get the data transfer for free, because that's a labor service. Maybe you've never had a maintenance checkup done on your computer before. You have a valid military ID, you can come in and get a completely free no cost maintenance checkup. 8 hours of work on your computer for free. If you have a virus on your computer or suspect you have a virus, you can bring it into the service center. We'll remove it for free with that valid military ID. So this is a Monday only thing. A lot of people, the most common question is, do I have to drop it off on Monday? The answer is yes, you do. The second most common question is, well, what if you can't finish it Monday? Doesn't matter. If we get it done on Tuesday, because we have no idea how many computers. We have like 45 people, I think, on Facebook that have responded they're interested in the event, and 7 people who have said they're going to the event. So we could just have 7 people show up, and it could be a quaint little thing. Or we could have 45 people show up, and it could be a really busy Monday. Or we could have hundreds of people show up that just never RSVP. And that's the way things work sometimes. So we have no idea what to expect on Monday morning. But if you could help spread the word, we'd appreciate it, because it's one of those things. We've never done anything like this for Veterans Day before. And not because we didn't appreciate veterans, but we just didn't think of it. We didn't think that, because okay, you hear about, okay, it's a Veterans Day special, half off mattresses, and it seems so, I don't know, almost like you were taking advantage, or like you were trying to commercialize the service that veterans have done by offering a mattress sale or a car sale, or we didn't want to do that at Truck. I just had a visceral negative reaction to that. Like, no, I'm not going to run a theme sale, like Columbus Day sale. Come on, I'm just not going to do that. So then when the guys came, it was Kara actually that said, can we do something for Veterans Day? And I was like, no, we can't, because I'm not going to do that. First of all, how many more things could I have put on sale on the show today, guys? I mean, literally, it's like Schrock's on sale today kind of show. And it was a bummer that it all happened in the same day. I would have liked to stretch that out over a few weeks, but it is what it is. But giving the services away for free is different. So yeah, there could be some part costs. But the objective of the sale is not to bring a veteran in, put them through a maintenance checkup, tell them about all the stuff they need, and convert that into a massive sale. The objective is to bring in a veteran. We're going to tell them exactly what they need if they do a maintenance checkup, like we would with any other customer, except all the labor stuff, we're just going to ask their permission if we can do it for them. There's no cost. So if you come in with your computer for a maintenance checkup, that's a $90 value. We do the 8 hours of work, and we find out you're a version behind on your Windows 10. Guess what? It's $80 to do that. Well, guess what? That's a labor service. Would you like us to just do that for you? Oh, by the way, we noticed that your computer is infected with 14 viruses. Is it okay if we just remove those viruses for you? I mean, of course it's okay, but we're going to ask permission. And then when we're done, we will say, hey, you had 14 viruses. You really should get some antivirus software. Otherwise, you're just going to get them back tomorrow, and Veterans Day is only today. So you might want to pick up a copy of Endpoint. But we're not going to hard sell people on things. If you need it, you need it. If you can afford it, you can afford it. If not, hey, come take the free sample on a stick, and we are very happy to give it. So it's something cool. It was a unique way of looking at it, and I thought, let's give it a whirl. Who knows if it's going to work out? Maybe it'll be an annual thing, maybe not. We'll see. So if you could share it on your Facebook pages and let any veterans that you know about the special, it's a great opportunity to come in and get some free work done. All right, let's see. Got some comments possibly here. All right, an old one, a Mac OS desktop. Oh, a Mac OS desktop. Ooh, yeah, we could put a solid state in that, Caleb, but I'm not sure you'd want us to. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate your comments on the Veterans Day special. We'll see how it does. We'll see how it does. I mean, on one hand, I'm excited because I want to come back the next week and I want to be like, we donated like thousands of dollars of labor. This is awesome. And then I'm a little scared because like if I come in on Monday and there's like a line around the building, whoops, wow. I wonder if they're here to buy holiday specials, Oh gosh, we did that one year. The very first year we did the holiday special, we did the whole like early entrance, like people were lined up outside the door in the cold of November, waiting to get in to buy their first holiday special. And it was, I don't know, it was nice to see the outpouring of support on the first day of the sale. It really reinforces that you're doing something right, that you're really doing something good that people like. I didn't like making my customers stay out in the snow and the rain and stuff. It doesn't seem like good service to me, honestly. It's like, okay, we're going to open it this time. There's 150 of them, guys, and it's not like Cabela's where there's 150 free Mr. Buddy heaters for the first 150 people through the door. This is like there's 150 $1,500 computers. We're not going to sell them out on the first day, okay? Let's just be frank. But we usually do sell out before the end of the sale. All right. Thank you, Caleb, for sharing those links. I appreciate it.
I hope our stores are flooded too, Caleb. All right. Would it not sound cool to win the best of Grand Island also? Yes, it's that time of year for our annual suggestion to place a service center in Grand Island, at least before you go to 10 locations. Okay, so Mark, he's been on me to go to Grand Island for a long time. Literally, he comes into the service center and he's like, listen, Thor, like the one place we had in Grand Island folded up, they're doing like IT only for businesses now. So, you know, you really need to put a location in because there's nothing here for the people anymore. And in my head, I'm like, did that company go to doing businesses only because there weren't enough people in Grand Island to support a business? Or was he just tired of doing customer service? Because that's a lot of the business, a lot of the IT businesses. When you talk to guys, hey, I want to start a computer repair shop, the first piece of advice they always get is go business to business. That's where the money's at. You don't have to deal with all the headaches. And that's fine. You guys keep doing that because we love being in the service arena. We love having people being able to come to us and ask us questions and get help. And I know that everyone in the service center is going to get calls on Monday. How do I turn on Doe? Thor was talking about Doe on the radio. How do I turn it on? And they're going to be like, are you punking me? Like, what is this? And so on Monday morning, we have a staff meeting at 9:30 just so I can go over my senior technicians and say, guys, this is all the crazy stuff that happened on this radio show this weekend. So if you didn't listen to it on Sunday, if you listen to it sometime later in the week, you're going to need to hear it so that when people call and ask you for Doe, you know it's a real thing. And here's how you do it. So it's kind of funny. Oh, Mark, I know. We want to grow. We genuinely want to grow. We are working on the Des Moines Service Center right now. That's been in the works for a couple of years. We've got to get that out of the box. There are some critical systems that we're actually testing in this launch. Right now, all of my service centers are geographically close enough that if something goes sideways, myself or one of my managers can be there like that. The Des Moines Service Center, that will not be the case. It's 3 hours out. So we can get there, but it's 3 hours out. So 3 hours there, 3 hours back, that's 6 or 8 hour day. I mean, wow. Take a lunch on the job, maybe you're there for 3 hours. That's not worth it, all that driving. So we've got to get a crack staff put together. We've got to get a great location. The marketing is doing really well. The radio station, the radio show in Des Moines is performing really well. We have feedback from people. We're getting computer orders from Des Moines. I wouldn't be surprised if we sell a lot. When I say Des Moines, this is one of the things that's kind of interesting that I learned about Des Moines. People don't say they're from Des Moines. They say they're from the central Iowa area. And so that includes Des Moines and all the little sub provinces, if you will, around Des Moines. And people are very tribal. They want to shop in their one little enclave. And so it didn't, when I learned that, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to put a service center in the Des Moines metro area. It's really important where we pick to put this, like really, really important. Wow, we got to do some more research here. So we've been doing a lot of learning about the Des Moines market and where to put the service center and how to do things like that. Grand Island would be a lot easier. You know, bada boom, bada bing. We put a service center in. We're pretty close. We can get someone there if we need to, and you know, it'd probably be a lower volume service center. So we could probably get something that's 800 to 1,500 square feet, have 2 to 3 employees working it, and have a much smaller footprint than we do in a typical Schrock location. Des Moines, on the other hand, we have no idea what to expect. So we're going to start with a 1,600 square foot service center probably that's got an average of like 30 bench spots on it. We're going to start with 2 full-time senior technicians, at least 2 junior technicians, and a front desk, so a 5-person team. It's a pretty involved thing finding all the right people for that at one time. By the way, speaking of people, you guys probably will know somebody before they find us, but we are looking to hire someone for our front desk at our Omaha service center right now. I'm trying to find someone that has experience with budgeting, forecasting, profit loss statements, things like that. We want to in-house some of our accounting, but I want to. So basically, I need a really, really, really good bookkeeper that doesn't mind also doing front desk work, or I need a really, really bad accountant that will do bookkeeper work. You know, that's the thing. It's like I'm advertising for a bookkeeper, and I'm not getting the applicants that are really qualified for what I want to do. So I'm like, maybe I should be advertising for an accountant. And then I'm like, do I need what are the different types of accountants? Like, I don't want a CPA. He's not going to file my taxes. So, oh boy. So anyway, if you are that person or you know that person, we have a job posting on Indeed.com right now for a bookkeeper / front desk. If you are an accountant and find the word bookkeeper off-putting, I want an accountant is what I want. I just wasn't sure I would get an accountant that I was like, I don't need you to file my taxes. I'm not even sure I'm going to have you doing payroll stuff because we have a company that does that. But I want to find somebody who can generate, first off, more detailed profit loss statements by division within Schrock. Also forecasting and budgeting as well. It's going to become extremely important for us as we expand outside of the area that I can immediately control. It's one thing when I can walk in the door and I can just tell. I've been doing this for 20 years. This service center is losing money today. What's going on in here? Why are we not making money in here? What are we doing wrong? Because we have to make money or we go out of business. But we also have to provide award-winning service. So sometimes you have to keep staff around even when the workload is light because the phones are really busy, for example. So there's a trade-off there. So I can walk in and I just have a pulse. I can feel that. Des Moines won't have me there all the time. How do I give a manager in Des Moines the tool to be able to feel that when he hasn't been here for 20 years? There's got to be a system for that, and that's what we're trying to build over there right now. So, all right, if you're looking for a job, there you go. All right. Caleb says, my stepmother didn't have Norton for a day on her HP laptop and received the most intelligent hack I've ever seen. Yeah, it happens quick now. They're pretty fast. If your antivirus expires, it's pretty bad. They had us on the phone, and the thing I finally realized was the price to help fix it was $500. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yep, Northwest Lincoln. I hear it all the time. There's Northwest Lincoln area is taking off. We need a service center there. Let's see. Eileen says, yes, I'm from Central Iowa near Des Moines and can't wait. Awesome. Back to Canada, Iowa? I don't understand that one, Caleb. Back to Canada? That must be a thing. I'm too old, apparently. You must drive really slow. I've driven from Northwest Omaha to Jordan Creek in under 2 hours and 4 miles an hour over the speed limit many times. You know, it could be, Mary. It could be. I'm coming from the Papillion. I'm coming from South Omaha, basically, so that might be part of it too. So I've got to drive clear across the city, and also, you know, I don't know exactly where my destination is yet, right? So we don't have a service center yet. So I want to go to Jordan Creek, but you know, so I drove out a couple times with my wife, and we went into Des Moines proper. We went to a restaurant. We did some stuff there in town, did a little shopping. You know, so it was like, depending on where you're going, what part of the Des Moines metropolitan area you're going to, and which part you're coming from. And I used to be a super fast driver. I used to speed everywhere I went. The rules were for somebody else and not me. I went everywhere 10, 15 miles an hour over. I got a ticket. I don't have time to go to court. Just pay the ticket. I turn it into accounts payable. Pay that ticket. I'm done with that. And then one day, I got pulled over on the way to the radio show, on the way into this radio show. And the officer said, sir, did you know your license is suspended? And I said, what? And he goes, yeah, your license was suspended for points. See, apparently, they suspended my license on a Thursday, sent the letter, and of course I didn't get it because it was, you know, Saturday-ish when it hit the mail, or Friday, whatever, it hit the mail. I didn't get it. And so Sunday morning I'm coming in to do the radio show, but my license has been suspended. When you are driving on a suspended license, they take you in. They tow your car away. I was like, oh, what? And I was like, can I please just call the radio station and tell them to run the backup show just in case something happens, right? So now, guys, after that experience, I am now, my wife tells me I drive like a grandpa. And I'll do 5 over, you know, whatever. But, I mean, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm in a hurry to get places still, but I try to leave a little bit earlier. I'm not always the best at it. I'm usually late. But I've learned my lesson. And now I have all of my points, and I'm a great driver, and my insurance rates went up, but they never went back down. Go figure that. So anyway, so yes, Mary, I probably do drive like a grandpa, but it's for good reason. I mean, I want to get where I'm going. All right. So any other questions about holiday special, laptop, desktop? Any questions about the Veterans Day special? I kind of breezed through the Best of Lincoln, Best of Omaha, Best of Sarpy stuff. Because I felt like I was doing so much selling on the show this week. I didn't feel like I was entertaining. I felt like I was a salesman today, and I'm good at that. I can do that, but I don't like doing it. So I wanted to make sure that there was something on the program today that was you know, content driven. So I breezed through that stuff because, you know, basically the fourth quarter is when we do like 25% of our company's annual revenue. And so we've never put our computers on sale in the fourth quarter before. Logic being, people are going to be buying computers anyway, so why should we put them on sale? This year's logic is a little bit different. We have a I've been doing a lot of work on Schrock Innovations, trying to improve our communications with customers, trying to improve the frequency of phone calls that not sales phone calls, but like when you have something in the service center and it's taking a day longer than we expect to get it done, rather than it just taking a day longer, and if you call to check on it, we'll give you an update. Being more proactive about calling you and saying, sorry, it's taking a day longer, but we'll get it right back to you as quickly as possible. Which those calls are appreciated. People like that. So we're trying to, again, do more service-driven stuff like that. So one of the thoughts was, okay, we want to do more service-driven work. We don't make a ton of money when we sell a computer, guys. We're selling holiday specials at cost. We're offering discounts on our modular computers that pretty much make them a wash during the sale. As far as the, sometimes people add stuff, data transfers, upgrades, things like that, and those are profit centers for us. But the rest of them, when we sell a computer, we don't make a ton of money. So why do we sell computers? Why would you do something you don't make a lot of money at? The answer to that question is because when people purchase computers, they tend to bring them back to the place they purchased them to have repair work done. If you've ever seen somebody hauling their computer into Best Buy, you know that's true. Because, wow, you parked in a parking lot, you're carrying this desktop across the parking lot into the store where you have to stand for 40 minutes and wait for someone to start looking at it, and you have to stay there while they fix it. It doesn't seem like a great deal, right? So at Schrock, we want to have a superior service experience, and we want to reach as many people with that service experience as possible. And one way we can reach more people for a longer amount of time with that service is through selling them a computer. So at Schrock, when you come in and purchase a computer from us, when I say we're looking for a long-term relationship, I really mean that. We want you as a customer. That's why we do our extended warranties the way that we do. Where you can buy an extended warranty for $99 when you buy a computer. By the way, guys, if you get a holiday special, I I cannot strongly enough recommend that you add the 3-year extended warranty to it. Not the 1 year. That's for like the Boundless and the Resolute, the cheap computers. Add the 3-year because, number one, when you add them later, they're $25 more expensive per warranty, right? So you're going to spend a lot more money over time. Number two, they're refundable. So if you don't use these warranties, if after 4 years you don't have any warranty claims, you're going to get that $300 back as a refund, as a Schrock gift card to you. You can use that to buy another warranty. Then you can keep flipping it 1 year after that. We only allow you to go to a 3-year maximum extended warranty when you buy the computer, because more than that is the odds that you're going to get a refund are just minuscule, because you're going to have something happen after 5 years, right? A fan's going to go out, something's going to happen. You wouldn't want to go 5 years out initially. We don't want you to do something you wouldn't want to do. So 3 years is the most. So you get a 4-year, you get 1 year with the computer, and you're adding 3 years to it. So that's great. Get that warranty, guys, because the processor in this computer, I mean, as Caleb will tell you, it's a $300 processor. The hard drive in this computer is a $200 hard drive cost. The motherboard is like $100. The memory is like $200. In other words, there's nothing in this computer that I can replace for $99. Plus, there's an hour of labor if you're out of warranty. So it's not $99. It's $110. It's $200, $250 to replace a part in a computer. Okay, the warranty is $99. If you need it, you're glad you have it because you just saved like that $250. On the other hand, if you don't need it, we give you your money back at the end, and then you can use that money to buy yet another warranty if you want to. You could use it to buy another computer. You could use it to pay for your endpoint subscription. Whatever you want to do with it, it's your money. So trust me on this, guys. If you're looking at holiday specials, get those warranties. Make sure you do that. So all the computers on special at Schrock. The 2020's model year spec is something that we're going to have to do that in a month and a half anyway, right? So let's just go ahead and do it. So the website's all been updated. If you want to check out the specifications of those computers, you can do so at SchrockInnovations.com. The prices on the website have also been lowered. The Boundless and Resolute, the entry-level models, are $50 less expensive than they were before. The Endeavor and the Intrepid, the mid-level models, are $100 less expensive. And the Venture and the Gallant, the higher-end models, are $150 less expensive. Although I would still encourage you, if you're looking at a Venture or a Gallant, by the time you're done transferring, modifying, doing everything there, you're going to be very close to the price of a holiday special. I mean, unless you just pick, you can just come in and say, I want the computer, and that's it. You can do that, and that's cool, but you're going to be close to the price of a holiday special. So, I don't know. I would get the holiday special. It's like 3 times the computer, hands down, easy. But that's just me. You know, not everybody's got the $1,500 to put on a computer too. So that's something else. If you're looking to save some money, we don't do Black Friday at Schrock. We don't sell garbage, you know, on a special price because it tends to boomerang on us and come back. Why'd you sell me this piece of garbage? So we sell good computers. And when you have our computers, they last a lot longer. The solid state laptops and desktops, they're going to last you 4 to 6 years as opposed to 18 months. So it's a pretty sweet deal. And they're all on special now over at Schrock. Yeah, Blake, we are still chewing away at the plan to do hardware as a service, is what we're affectionately calling it, where we have a holiday special. All right, so let me give you a glimpse. This is the skunk works right now at Schrock. This is what's going on. Longtime Thor pet project, computer hardware as a service. It's going to have to happen. It's going to have to happen at a time when nothing else is happening. Because it's going to be very involved. It literally changes the way we sell computers, which means the website, the sales model on the website, how you configure the computer, there's going to be a whole nother product. So you can buy the Resolute or the Resolute as a service, you know, or the Boundless as a service. So it's weird because like you can pay for the whole computer or you can not own it but get it for this much per month. So it's a weird thing to have to try to thread the needle on the website. We're still working on all the ins and outs. Do we include monitors in that? What about keyboards and mice? How about printers? Are accessories things that we're willing to do hardware as a service as well? Or is it just the computer? So these are questions we're working on figuring out. Also in the Skunk Works, Brian in the Omaha Service Center has been diligently working on the cold storage backup solution, and he is very close. He has all three of the service centers have multiple computers, obviously. We've got the front desk computers, we have the tech computers, and he set up a server at his house, and all of those computers, like the junk on the computers, the tools we use, they're all backing up to his server right now, successfully. And right now he is testing if one of those computers, for example, would be hit with a ransomware infection and all the files got encrypted, can we go back in time with his solution? So he's working on that solution right now. The next iteration of this is cloud storage. And the original plan was we were just going to store it with Amazon. Because, you know, if we store it with Amazon, we don't have to worry about hardware. Everything is fine. We don't have to worry about security. It's there, right? Brian asked me some questions that kind of opened my eyes a little bit. So he said, Thor, let's pretend for a second that security was no better at Amazon than it is anywhere else. Let's pretend that everybody has the same security, right? And let's pretend that the amount of storage you would need to buy at Amazon, you're going to be buying that for a certain price per gigabyte, so you're going to have a cost there, right? Let's say that if we bought that hardware ourselves and hosted our own backup hardware, so put 27 hard drives on a rack and backed up our customers' stuff to these hard drives, after 1 year, we would recoup the cost of the hardware based on what we're going to pay Amazon. And I'm like, that's not possible. I mean, it can't be that expensive. And he's like, actually, it depends how many people and he brought this calculation out. And I was like, oh my gosh, Brian, it makes sense for us to buy the hardware rather than use Amazon. I would not have thought that was the case. What the heck? Okay, well, we made a big assumption about security, Brian. I mean, security is not the same everywhere as it is on Amazon. So what's your plan for that? And he goes, obviously, we're going to need a firewall, but we can purchase a firewall at a couple $1,000s, you know, a few $100s a year for a subscription for it to keep it current. It's got a 5-year lifespan. We'll have to replace it every 5 years. But the actual hardware itself, and he pulls out a link to this. It's basically a rack-mountable SAS, well, not SAS, it's a SATA drive. It's network attached storage. It's NAS basically, but it's got 30 hard drives, bays in it. And he's like, we can add hard drives as we go to expand our storage, so we don't have to buy all 30 hard drives at once if we don't want to. But we basically, he was recommending 8 terabyte Seagate Iron Horse hard drives that are intended for this kind of work. He said, but literally we could have enough backup space to back up just about any customer that is interested in our cold storage backup solution, and have it right here on our rack stored locally in the service center. I'm like, okay, that's great, but what happens if we have a power outage or an internet outage or a tornado scoops our building up, Brian? You know, Amazon's giving us co-location too. He says they are. Actually, we would want to co-locate. We want to put the exact same rig set up in either the Papillion, Des Moines, or Lincoln Service Center. So we have a geographically somewhat diverse fault redundant backup. So if internet goes down in Omaha, backups can happen to Lincoln, and every night the two backup units will rsync together so that all the backups are identical on both units. Wow. Wow, Brian. Okay, so now let's get into the granular details, Brian. So how many computers can a customer back up to one account? How much are we going to charge per computer? Do we make it part of the extended warranty, something that you get when you have a warranty from Schrock, or do we make it part of the Schrock Desk, where when you have a Schrock Desk subscription, you get this as part of your Schrock Desk subscription, or do we make it a standalone add-on, yet another service from Schrock that you have to pay for annually? And if so, how much are we going to charge for that? Are we going to charge $10 a year? Are we going to have tiers? Are we going to have an unlimited tier? Are we going to? So there's all these questions that have to get answered. But that's what the Skunk Works is for. When we sit down and have these meetings, every day, my guys hear the questions you bring in to the service centers, and they see the challenges that you're facing, and they ask themselves, what can we do to make it better? And they come up with these ideas, and you know, they get more complex every year. Every single year they get more complex, but they're working really well. The guys do a great job. So we're hoping to have the cold storage backup, which is the working name for it. It might be called something like Schrock Safe and Stored or something when we're done. But right now it's Cold Storage Backup Project, because we need it for our business. We want to be impervious to ransomware attacks. We see other businesses get hit, and we don't believe for a moment that you can do everything right in one 0-day vulnerability, or one employee making one mistake is all it takes. One customer on our front end computer checking their email on the internet clicks one bad link. You know what? We identified that as a vulnerability. Now all of our display model computers are running Secure Updater, they're running Semantic Endpoint, and they're completely protected. Display models, we paid to protect them because we can't afford to have that one person make that one mistake that knocks the service center out and encrypts all of our QuickBooks and everything else, artificial intelligence or not. But we want to make that available to other businesses, and that's the thing. Everyone said, well, we could sell it to businesses, and businesses will pay more because they have more to back up, and the risks are higher. If your business gets hit, you're out of business, right? If you're a consumer and you get hit, you have to decide if you're going to pay or not. Maybe you want to, maybe you don't. Okay, that's great. Brian did experiment with one button restore. This is going to revolutionize data transfers, guys. So you have your computer and you're backing it up to Schrock Cold Storage. You buy a new computer, you take the new computer, you put it on the desk, we install the Schrock Cold Storage client, we put in your username and password, and we click restore. It just restores all of your files right from the internet. Boop, done. Or actually right from our service center, not really right from the internet even. It just restores it. Ding, done. And, you know, we don't even have to. If your other computer got hit by a truck, run over, and dropped in a lake, we could restore all of your stuff to your new computer. Bing, done. It's stupid magic simple, and that's what I asked Brian. I said it's got to be stupid magic simple. I want it to just work. I don't want to have alerts popping up all the time. I want to have the customers are going to say, how do I know if my backup is working? They need a little interface that says your backup is working, and that's all they need. And when something goes sideways, you know, legit question: do we build this great big giant interface that allows you to restore your own data, or do we just tell you, hey, if you have to restore data, call us in the service center. We'll connect you over the Schrock Desk for free and help you restore your data. Do we, you know, the service is nice, right? So I don't know, these are all questions we have to answer. So those are some of the things that are going on in the Schrock Skunk Works right now. The big ones that we'd worked on that we've just recently finished are the 2020 model year specs, making sure that our computers are staying competitive with everybody else's computers out there. The Venture is going to come with 16 gigs of RAM now. It's also going to come with a Ryzen 5 instead of a Ryzen 3. The Endeavor is going to come with 8 gigs of RAM and a Ryzen 3 now. So yeah, we made some adjustments. The poor Boundless is still the poor Boundless. It's grandma's internet email computer, and it always will be. Completely upgradable. The Boundless could become the Venture very easily, but not everybody needs the Venture, right? So we want to make sure we have options that fit everybody's needs. All right, any last call for questions before I get going, guys? Last call, 37 minutes into the Aftershock, and that's a true 37 because I didn't have to restart the show. I'm going to confuse the heck out of Kara. She's going to say, didn't you do an Aftershock this week? All right. No other questions, guys? Nothing? All right. Well, I did tell a small lie during the radio show. I said that the display models are all up in the service centers right now. Actually, the Omaha Holiday Special display model was in my truck. So I've got to get going because I've got to get over to the service center and get it all spruced for you and get the super awesome wallpaper that the lovely Kimberly made. Oh, my gosh. She made two versions of it. She made the 4K version for the laptop and the standard high-definition version for the desktop. And, oh, the 4K version is just, it's breathtaking when you look at it. It's like a winter Christmas scene, basically. It's beautiful. So hopefully you guys come in. Even if you're not interested in buying it, it's one of those computers. You just want to check it out. You want to see it. It's pretty cool. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and wrap the show for this week, guys. Next week is, by next week, I'm anticipating we're going to have Safe Upgrade hitting. So if you have not got your copy of Safe Upgrade yet, how many do we have left? Let me double check this. This is what I love. I can go to Google now and I can type Schrock Safe Upgrade, and it actually comes up in the search results like the #1 link. Like this is it. It's here. And the number of Schrock Safe Upgrades available in stock. That's great. $49.99. That's great. 84 remain in stock. So if you've been putting off the purchase of that Schrock Safe Upgrade, that big Microsoft update is coming out. It's got to be next week, guys. I mean, maybe the week after, but I can't imagine they're going to push it toward Thanksgiving. I just can't imagine that. Maybe they wait till after Thanksgiving and try to push it out at the end of the month. I mean, that's pretty tight because the November ends on Saturday the 30th, and Thanksgiving is the 28th. So that would be releasing it Black Friday. I just can't see them doing that. So I'm guessing it's going to come out this week or very early next week. So if you have not purchased your copy of Safe Upgrade yet, we still have 84 left. You can get that on our website at SchrockInnovations.com. Click on Shop and Specials. That's where you'll find Safe Upgrade. That's where you'll find the holiday special, the whole Anchorito. All right, guys, thanks for joining us on the program. Have a great afternoon. Be safe out there in the snow. We'll see you next week on Compute This.